it out the whole time. So welcome everybody. You guys got what you need? So welcome, find a nice seat and just settle in. Hopefully everyone had a nice Thanksgiving and enjoyed some good food and company. I had company here for, I guess, 5 days. My brother and his family came, so pretty exciting. Y'all ready? Okay, so we've been going through the yamas and we're on the very last one. And I can never remember the name of it. It's Aparigraha. Aparigraha. And it means non-greed. So not coveting what others have. And I think it has more to do with physical things, but I copied this and I think it kind of hits it on the head. So the Aparigraha is the concept in which possessions should include only what is necessary at a particular stage in one's life. It is a form of self-restraint that avoids the type of coveting and greed by which material gain destroys or hurts other people, other living things, or nature. So Aparigraha is the opposite of Parigraha, which means the focus on material gain. So Aparigraha is one of the main lessons in the Bhagavad Gita, if you've ever heard of that. It's an ancient text, a yogic text, which states that a yogi should give up possessions that hinder his or her yogic path. So doing so frees the yogi from dependence on sensual and bodily demands, allowing experience of the true self at a deeper level. So in the context of a yoga class, Aparigraha is the acceptance of what the body is capable of doing while practicing, rather than the desire to be perfect in a pose as someone else has. So this concept of material possessions, I once saw this exhibit, and I don't remember where it was, but it was in an airport somewhere. And they had taken, an artist had taken pictures of people and their possessions in a lot of different countries. And, some of them, it was just a pot and, some straw to sleep on, or, and so it was all around the world. And I can't remember how many different countries there were, at least 50. It was really fascinating. But the picture of the Americans was pretty sad, it was like this, pretty big house and all these things. It was, we have so much more than we need. And the concept of harming nature with our possessions too is really paramount to my mind right now. How can we cut back in a way that would be kinder to our earth? So think about that. Close your eyes. Turn to your breath. Check in with your physical body. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all keep Aparigraha in mind, non-greed, as we move into the holiday season, purchasing season. May we choose things to keep and have that are life enhancing. And please lower your hands, open your eyes. So sitting up nice and tall, it's just, you can do Sukhasana, which, okay, you might have to move, is really just cross-legged. And sit up nice and tall and just do a little twist here, right? Just want you to be comfortable. Oh, I'll go up. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Sorry, Helen. And then twist to the other side. I thought Mike was up there. Someone's ringing the doorbell for those of you online. And come back to center. I know. Hello. Hi. Oh, sorry. I should have given directions. Oh. Well, come on in. Okay, I was going to start with a breathing technique. Yeah, if you need to get out, you can sit higher, Helen. It's called Nadi Shodhana, and I just think it's good to really kind of center and regroup after being in the holidays. And to get there, you just bring your right hand up. I'm not mirroring you, so, and your pointer and middle fingers hold down, and then your ring finger and your thumb are what we use. So you're just gonna, it's Nadi Shodhana, which means alternate nostril breathing. So you're just gonna close off your left nostril and breathe in through the right. And then close off the right and breathe out through the left. And then breathe back in through the left. Close out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close out through the left. Inhale through the left. And close out through the right. In through the right. Close out through the left. In through the left. Close out through the right. And just keep going for 3 more breaths. And then release your hand. Just go for a few more breaths. Just normal breath through both nostrils. And then please open your eyes. Wash and close up there. Sorry, it's so loud. Come on to all fours now. And just slowly move through some cow cats. I want you to just kind of really feel each pose. You can sway your hips a little bit if you need to. Try to move with your breath. Since you were so focused on the breath, I think it helps. And then when you're evened out, widen your knees a little bit and sit back to child's pose. And stretch your arms out and press your palms down. A nice stretch in your shoulders. And still notice your breath moving clear down deep into your belly. And then just slide your right hand out to the side and stretch your left hand off to the right side of your mat. Stretch the side body a little bit. And coming back to center, switch. So slide the left hand back, slide the right hand off to the left side of the mat. Oh, nice stretch in the side body. And then come on back to center. Swivel your feet to one side and come to your seated position with your feet out front. And just step your hands back a good distance and turn the fingers out. And they're nice and wide on the mat. And then just lift your heart and get the head of the arm bones back for a little shoulder stretch. You'll feel it everywhere. And if you want to, you can even turn the fingers forward. This increases the stretch, but also stretches your wrist. Good. Now keep that length. Grab behind your knees. Lean back, lengthen your spine, and lift to Navasana, boat pose. You can let go if you want. Just getting everything warm. Good, and then come on back down and come forward again to all fours. And step your hands forward just a little bit. Extend your right arm up and then thread it underneath. Thread the needle. Come up on left fingertips if you want. Good, just nice stretch. Gonna squeeze all the toxins out of our organs. So think of that. Oh. And then come on back to center and we'll switch. The left arm stretches up and thread it through. Couple breaths there. And come on back to center. And curl the toes under and sit back on your heels. It's been one of those days today, hasn't it? Just a little foot stretch. If possible, you don't have to go all the way back if your toes don't do that, if your feet don't do that. We're just getting a good stretch everywhere. Come forward and now stretch the feet long and sit back. Stretch out the ankles, the quads a little bit more. Good, and then come forward to all fours again. Hands are under the shoulders at this point. Use all parts of your hands, so you're not just dumping into your wrists. Curl the toes under and lift the knees. So really engage the core and lift the knees only about an inch or so and hold. And then when you feel like, oh, that's enough, keep nice long spine. I'm really trying not to scoop my tail. I'm trying to keep the rib cage back. You can slowly lift the knees and push back to kind of a short downward facing dog. You might have to keep your knees bent, keeping that engagement in the core. And then step your feet back to a regular down dog and maybe stretch into the full pose and hold. See what you can learn here. Keep your legs just as engaged, your core just as engaged. So a nice stretch in your shoulders. Shoulders stay lifted. I always say rib cage back, and think about this. Lengthen the low belly. So draw the low belly up. You'll feel a stretch everywhere. Good, and come forward to plank pose. And hold there now, full plank. Now, if you need to lower the knees, feel free. So we're gonna hold here for a little bit. Trying to get you warm this morning. I think I'm gonna maybe even round the upper back a little bit, but not the low back. I'm just trying to stay connected. Good, and then lower the knees and come on down. Come up on your elbows. Stretch your feet long. And make sure your elbows are under your shoulders. And this is really key. You're not going to scoop your tailbone. You're just going to draw the low, so lengthen the low belly and draw it up and lengthen your spine and get the head of the arm bones back. This is Sphinx. Feels like a really nice lengthening stretch for your core. Good, and then because we're trying to get everything stretched out today, relax for a moment. Swivel the right forearm in, bend the left knee, and see if you can find the foot with your hand. And then think of that, drawing the low belly up, squaring up the shoulders a little bit, but keeping that left shoulder back. Stretch out your quad. If you're really open, you can swivel your fingers forward. Yeah. Oh, that feels tight today. Low belly up, rib cage back, don't scoop the tailbone, lengthen. So it still feels like a half sphinx, if you will. And then release that side. Pause for a moment and sphinx again. So just see if you can, if that irritated your shoulder, get that head of the arm bones back again. Feel that lengthening, draw the low belly long and up. Oh, Good. And then switch sides. So swivel the left forearm in. You might have to roll to your hip. That's okay if you need to find the foot. Knee stays facing straight back. And then you can square up. And if you're feeling really flexy, I know one side feels tighter on me too. This is deep. Couple breaths. That's a quad stretch. Draw your low belly long again. One more breath. And release. Good. Slide your hands back by your chest. Press the hands down and try and get that feeling of lengthening again as you slowly lift up to cobra now. So don't scoop the tailbone. Think low belly long, rib cage back. One more breath. And lower down. Good. Curl your toes under. Push back to all fours. My hands are a little wide, so I'm going to bring them slightly closer and make your way to downward facing dog again. Keep the armpits nice and hollow. So it feels like your arms are rising. Draw the low belly up to lengthen it. Lengthen your spine. Think of your head as an extension of your spine. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet and come to a forward fold. You might have to bend your knees as you get there. Feel your legs fully engaged. If you want to, if you're feeling really open, you can grab elbows and just kind of swing there. Otherwise, support yourself. You're not rounding the low back. You're just feeling nice and open. Good. One more breath. And then bend your knees, bring your hands on your knees, come upright, press into your feet and stand up. And mosey on up to the front of your mat. I'm going to come to the middle here. Take off a layer. Out in your ear. And stretch your arms up. Again, think of lengthening the low belly up. Good. Now bring just your right arm down and arc to your right. Come back to center. Switch. Back to center. Both hands up. Feel that length. And then bend your knees, sit back to a chair pose, but keep the low belly drawing up so you feel nice and tall here in chair pose. And go a little deeper. And then maybe widen your feet a little bit and come on down to a deep squat. Just trying to get you all stretched out this morning. Yeah, and it's okay if your heels are up. That's normal. Good. It really is normal. It took me a long time to do this. Good. And now come back up to a forward fold. And I'm going to have you have blocks handy just because I always use blocks. And I have extra blocks here, Diane, so next time you can just grab some. I have these fun knee cushions and blankets and all this fun stuff. Good. And then putting your hands on the block, step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Keep the hips square so the right hip creases back. Got a low belly long. My new way of describing things. Rib cage is back. Just feel a good stretch here. The heel stays nice and high, and then you can always stretch deeper into it if you want a little calf stretch. Good, and then step forward and switch, right foot back. Hips stay square, heel nice and high, draw the low belly up, lengthen. You can always stretch deeper through the heel if you have your foot fully engaged and your leg fully engaged, then you can really stretch out that calf and it feels decent. Good, and then step forward and switch again. Left foot back. This time lower the back knee. Hug to the midline. Transition up. Stretch up Anjane Asana. Okay, see if you can find a long low belly here. So drawing it long, not scooping the tailbone. Feel the rib cage back. Take a few breaths. One more breath. And touching the blocks now, slide the hips back and straighten your right leg. So your hips should be approximately in front of or over your left knee. Yep, good. If you're feeling really open, you don't have to use the blocks. It's just kind of nice when you're getting back into things. Think right hip crease draws back, little baby bend in the knee. Now you're stretching the hamstring. You can think low belly draws up, lengthen, maybe fold a little deeper. And then you can always try and stretch the toes straight too. I always start with a flexed foot, so I know that all those muscles are engaged, and then you can stretch the toes long. Good, and bend back into the front knee. Lift the back knee and step forward to switch again. Right foot back, deep lunge. To lower the back knee. Hug heel to knee, knee to heel. Come upright. Think draw low belly long. Stretch up. Anjane Asana. If it's safer for you to keep your hands on your knee or on the blocks, it's okay. Hips stay square, right, left hip crease back, low belly long. And please touch the blocks. Slide back to that runner's lunge position. Flex the foot, start with the foot flexed, a little baby bend in the knee. Just check, you have your hips square. Draw the low belly up, lengthen, and maybe fold a little deeper, stretching out the hamstring. You'll feel it in the calf as well. And then stretch the toes long if that feels good for you. Good, bend back into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Set the blocks to the side and step back to a down dog. It's feeling like we got everything warm, so please stretch forward to plank. Lower to the mat. Stretch the feet long and push up cobra, thinking draw the low belly up, And exhale down. Push up to all fours and then down dog. Step your feet up to your hands this time. Forward fold, you can use the blocks again by your feet if you want. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Low belly draws up again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, let's just do a little flow. You doing okay, Helen? Yeah, I'm nursing a sore back still, so I have to move really slow and mindfully. I picked up my grandson and so inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back to a deep lunge and then ground that back foot down and come up to warrior two position. You can add the arms. Make sure your knees tracking straight. And then see, am I really drawing my low belly up to lengthen the low belly, but keeping the sits bones back? Feel that? Helps you engage your core more. Good, and now your right arm goes down the back leg. Left arm stretches up for reverse warrior. Keep the front leg bent. Good, come back, warrior two. Keep drawing the low belly up. Transition Parshva Konasana. So elbow to knee or to the block or to the floor. Draw low belly long, maybe stretch the arm by the ear. Beautiful, you guys. And then really keeping that back leg as an anchor, come back up to warrior two. Reverse warrior again. Straighten the front leg this time. And then come up and through to triangle pose. Just be very mindful in your movement, drawing the low belly up each time. Feel that back leg really grounding you. Bend the front knee, look at the floor. Reach down, touch the block, turn the back heel up. And please step forward. Inhale, look out and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, let's keep going like that. So inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step the left foot back to deep lunge. Ground it down. Check the alignment. So if you're heel to heel or heel to arch, that's good. And then come up to warrior two. Drawing the low belly up. Lengthening the spine. Keeping the knee tracking straight. Gorgeous, you guys. I always try and keep a little baby bend in my back knee to start. So I keep thinking this hip crease stays back and I draw my low belly up. Feels long. Transition to reverse. So left arm down, right arm up. Palm facing back. Feels better. That's it. Take a few breaths. See if you can really maintain that strength in your core. Come back to warrior two. Check your alignment and then make your way Parsva Konasana. That's it. Beautiful. Arm by the ear if you're feeling it. Palm faces the floor. Beautiful, guys. Keep that back foot and leg anchoring as you make your way back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. And as you do, straighten the front leg. Feels different. And then coming up and over to triangle pose, Trikonasana. Yeah, so come forward, hand to block. There you go. Nice. Oh, rib cage back. Low belly draws up. Sits bones stay back. Breathe. Look at the floor, then the front knee. Transition the heel up. And set the blocks off to the side to step back to down dog. I'll give you an option here. You can take child's pose or do vinyasa with me. Do what works best for your body. Come forward to plank if you're doing vinyasa. Lower to the mat. Cobra, remembering that feeling of lengthening. And lower back down. And then everybody push back to child's pose for a moment. And even stack your forearms so you have a little rest for your head. Taking a few breaths. Really enjoying the feeling of breathing deep down into your low belly, your low back. And then making your way back up to downward facing dog. And then slowly walking your hands back to your feet. Forward fold there. Feel the big toe mound grounded inside of heel. Just kind of sway back and forth so you really feel that you're using all parts of your feet. And that translates to your legs. Like you're making an impression in the sand with your feet. Good. Bending your knees, bring your hands on your knees and press into your feet. Come all the way up. Good. Now I'm going to have you guys turn towards the middle and take a wide stance so you can see each other. Yeah. And I have to stay up here so that these guys can see what we're doing. So in the wide stance, I want you to feel your low belly drawing up, the sits bones moving back and apart, feet hug. Feel like your feet are still making those impressions, and stretch your arms up. Feel like the weight's right in the middle of your feet. Bring your arms out to the side. Turn your right foot forward. You're going to be opposite of each other. Bend into the front knee. Just a different way of getting into warrior two. I just want you to feel the difference. See if you can feel more connected this way. Good, bend the front leg straight and switch the orientation of your feet. Don't lose the connection in your core. Bend into the front knee. Low belly's drying up. Back leg still feels like it's anchoring you. Pull through the top of your head. Good, bend the leg straight. Actually straighten the leg, not bend it. Turn the foot forward. And now hands to the knees. Just support yourself as you fold forward to a wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padasana. You can still feel that low belly drawing up and lengthening, and the sits bones moving back. You might have to keep a baby bend in your knees, or maybe even more of a bend to get that feeling. And then it's okay to let your upper back round. You just don't want the low back to round too much. You want to feel connected and long. A few more breaths there. And then coming up like a pranam, I want you to just swivel your heels in slightly and bend the knees. So the kneecaps and the toes point the same direction. And then bring your hands on your thighs or knees and bring your torso upright. This is goddess pose. Now it's really hard to keep this if you don't engage your core more. So think low belly up, sits bones stay back. You can keep the hands there, or you can bring hands to heart center. And then just see what happens if you bend deeper into the right knee and then the left knee. Make sure the kneecaps and the toes point the same direction. Keep weight in all parts of the foot. Good. And then bringing the hands back to the thighs. Straighten the heels out, straighten the legs, and fold forward again. Prasarita Padasana. And come on up like a pranam. Bring your hands right under your shoulders. And just check your core. Does it still feel just as long? Bring your right hand to your hip. Now don't allow anything to change. Just feel like your rib cage is back, your sits bones are back, your low belly is drawing up, and then twist to your right. Did I say? Yeah. Oh, that feels great. And then unwind, same thing to the other side. Feel the connection, feel the strength in the core first, and then twist. Keep the sits bones back. Keep weight in the heels and the balls of the feet. Good, unwind. Fold forward again. And then heel, toe, bring your feet together till you're in a forward fold. Bend your knees, hands on the knees. Bring your torso upright, press into your feet, and come on up to standing. You're getting there, getting all stretched out. Good. Come on up to the front of your mats again with your blocks. We're almost there. Find your breath. Find your strength. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back just about 2.5, 3 feet so that you can ground the foot down. You might turn your blocks to the higher height. And just check, I might have to turn the toes out slightly. Think hips square, low belly up, sits bones back, and then maybe fold a little deeper. Keep drawing the low belly up, lengthening. And then come up so that you're like in a pranam in this position. Feel the arch of the back foot fully engaged, drawing up. Bring your left hand to your hip, your right hand's on the block. Sits bones are back, low belly's drawing up, and then twist to your left. You can extend the arm if it feels like your shoulder is on top of shoulder. If not, don't do it. Think long through the top of the head. Good, and then touch down. And bend the front knee, step forward to switch sides, left foot back. And you'll know if you can't really ground through the heel, you've stepped too far. And I like to have my feet at least hip distance, if not a little bit more for this position, just because you feel more stable. Hips back, right hip crease drawing back, little baby bend in the right knee. Nice and long, drawing the low belly up, lengthening the spine, and maybe fold deeper. Called Parsvottanasana, or sometimes people call it pyramid pose. Feel weight in the ball of both feet, in the heels of both feet. Good, come on up like a pranam. Check your core, right hand to the hip, and maybe twist open. Kind of a modified Pavrita Trikonasana. Twisted triangle. Nice, you guys. Low belly draws up, lengthen through the top of the head. One more breath. And touch down. Good, move the blocks out of the way to step back to a down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment here. Really feel a good stretch. I'll give you the option again. You can take child's pose, or if you want to do vinyasa, you come forward to plank. Lower to the mat. Cobra. And lower. Curl the toes, push up through plank, back to down dog. And then please lower to your knees and find your blanket. I'll give you my blanket. And sit on the corner of your blanket. You're getting a cold, Missy. It's the cat. See, I saw you. You were petting the cat. You did it. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you allergic to cats too? Good. Oh, good. Well, you got the fat one, that's for sure. Oh, she is something else. Okay, bring your feet wide. I was saying we had 3 dogs for Thanksgiving, you know, so it was crazy. One of them was a Great Dane, a puppy Great Dane. He was crazy. So inner spiral a little bit, so you feel really connected. Now, if you have knee issues, you're going to stay this way. If you don't have knee issues, I'm going to have you bend your right knee, kind of close it. So you think of your knee as a hinge, right? Close it, and then either bring it to the inner thigh, or if you can, swivel the toes underneath. We're doing Janu Shirshasana. And then, of course, when you transition like that, notice, do you feel both sits bones grounded? Do you feel can you access your spine? Nice and long, low belly up. And then we're just going to fold right in the middle of this forward to start. And just keep noticing. A little stretch there. And then just walk your hands so that your torso is still facing the floor, and bring your right hand or your left hand to the outside and your right hand to the inside. And then just notice that. And if you can reach your ankle with your right hand, or if your foot's there, press your hand into your foot and resist with your foot. So pressing hand to foot, resist with the foot, you'll feel a little bit of something, something. And feel connection. You can fold, breathe. And then slowly come back up. Oh, that feels good, right? Let's switch. And sometimes one knee feels fine and the other one doesn't. So you just be your own monitor on what feels good. Don't have Aparigraha, greed that someone else can use their knees this way, right? Fold forward first. The bones grounded. We want non-greed. Aparigraha. I've found myself greed, when my daughter's home and her body is so young and capable. I feel jealous that I don't have a younger body, but you know what? I have to appreciate what my body does for me, and it's carried me this far, and it's learned so much. And to walk the face over this leg, your belly faces the leg if possible, so you're drawing the low belly up, lengthening. If you can reach the ankle or the foot, pull back if you reach the ankle, or push into your foot if you reach the foot, and lengthen out a little bit more. More breaths. And please come on up. Now you're just gonna bring your feet together, knees wide. I like to bring my hands under my ankles because I have bad ankles and it just feels good to me, but then it also allows me to kind of widen my legs automatically. But I want you to do it from the core. So think low belly up, sits bones back, nice long spine. And then use the strength of your core to widen the legs. And then you can hold them there as maybe you fold forward. It kind of broadens everything. Explore a little bit. Keep the sits bones grounded. Keep the sits bones moving back and apart. Draw the low belly up. Good. And then come on back up. Oh, that felt good. And go ahead and come off your blanket. And I'm going to do something fun. So you're going to open your blanket, hopefully like this, and then fold it in thirds. So it looks like a fish stick. And then you're going to hold the end of it under. And I'm going to have you grab your blocks and have them on either side of you. Now watch me, and then I'll come around and help those of you that need help getting in. So I sit right in front of my fish stick, not on it. And then I lay back on it. So I might have to adjust my head a little bit. And then I'm just going to go into that Baddha Konasana position with my feet together and bring the blocks under my outer thighs. It's kind of a restorative position. Hopefully it feels really good. So try it. I'll come around and check if you need help. Turn these lights down a bit. So it's called Supta Baddha Konasana. Actually, I'll just turn those on. Artie. Sorry, Lydia. And then yep, that they stay there. Feels really good. Yeah, how's that? Good. And then just bring your arms off to the side. Oh, that looks pretty good. Feel okay? Does that feel like it's digging into your leg or something? Okay. Let's throw on a blanket instead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave you here for about 5 minutes, and then I'll give you the option of just lengthening your legs out, or you can stay like this the whole time in Shavasana, or you can come off everything and just go to regular Shavasana. So you decide, but I'm gonna go into the pose. Just allow yourself to be supported by the props. The whole idea of restoratives is to have you in a good and therapeutic position, but without a lot of muscle energy or any muscle energy. So the props support you fully. This is probably my favorite restorative. You can do it anytime you're really needing a little reset. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your low belly to soften. Finally, now if you'd like, you could just bring your knees up and stretch your legs long on your little blanket support. Or if you want to come completely off the blanket, feel free and move into Shavasana. And then again, just notice any muscle energy that you need to relax and let go of. Once you get there, let the floor support you. Feel your eyes just resting in the socket. Allow the muscles all around the eye sockets to relax. Allow your ears to relax. And as you relax, I'd just like to review the 5 yamas that we've talked about, the 5 restraints, if you will. The first one was ahimsa, or nonviolence. Compassion towards yourself first, and then if you can find that, then allows you to have compassion for others. Nonviolence, ahimsa. And the second one is satya, or truthfulness. Being honest with thoughts, feelings, and deeds. You always act in a way that's true to yourself. And then the third one was asteya, which means non-stealing. That means being content with what comes to you, not taking away from others or yourself. The fourth one is brahmacharya, self-restraint and moderation. What we all used for Thanksgiving, right? And then finally today, aparigraha, non-greed. Trying not to covet what others have, trying not to have too much so that it makes it more of a duty to take care of things rather than something that's life enhancing. As you continue to rest, I'd like to share a reading from Jacob Needleman's book, In Money and the Meaning of Life. It's entitled Seek Essential Wealth. What is most necessary for man and what is given him in great abundance are experiences, especially experiences of the forces within him. This is his most essential food, his most essential wealth. If man conscientiously or consciously receives all this abundance, the universe will pour into him what is called life in Judaism, spirit in Christianity, light in Islam, power in Taoism. So if man consciously receives all this abundance, it's within him, the universe will pour more into him. We all have a great abundance within us. And please invite a long, slow, deep breath in. And let it go slowly and completely out. Do that one more time. Let it go completely. And begin to move your fingers and toes. Wiggle a little bit. Now that you've all gotten so comfortable. And start to transition up to seated by drawing your knees together. If you're still in Baddha Konasana, just give yourself a moment. And then rolling to your right side and push on up to seated. Take your time. Give yourself a few more moments. And just bring hands to heart center. Bow your head. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I needed that. Thank you guys at home. Have a great day.
Thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome. How's the baby coming along, Susan?
Oh man, she's kicking and everything else. It's on 30 weeks already.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's exciting, Susan.
That
Yes,
is so exciting.
It's so kind of scary to see your daughter pregnant,
Yeah, I bet.
It is.
Yeah.
I bet.